If you could go back and change your past, would you do it? If you could time travel to a space or a time in your life where you experienced the most trauma, drama, and challenging moments, would you go back and change it? Would you do your past life, your past self, your past experiences? Would you do it differently if you could? That is what this spiritual channel, this spiritual download that I received on the spring equinox, that is the question that was proposed to me. And Spirit has given me such a powerful channel and download to share with y'all. Y'all are going to see me grab my phone more today. Shout out to Dreamwise for getting us some shungite to go on the back of our phones because we know these phones are emitting a whole bunch of energy. But if you could change your past, if you had the power to really do it, would you? You guys let me know in the chat. I'm telling you right now, our spirit team, our ancestors, our spirit guides are really coming through with a message regarding our past and what we are meant to do with it in this spring season. And so I had a dream. It was a very long, extended dream. First of all, let me start off by saying this. Yesterday on the spring equinox, I spent the entire day in a very meditative, ritualistic state of being. I spent the entire day really aligning with where I am going, who I am becoming. And so that really set me up to go into the dream space very open and receptive to my divine spiritual guidance. Okay. So last night I had this dream, and it was a very long dream where there were like three different phases of the dream or three different past experiences of mine that I was able to observe and I was able to see. So the very first part of my dream that I saw was me, my dad, and my younger brother. And I've told some of y'all a little bit about my childhood with my father. He was more of a penny pincher. He was the type of person that did not like to spend a lot of money. And so what we used to do as kids, whenever we would be spending time with him, he would take us to wherever we were going to eat in the car. And if he didn't have enough money, if he didn't have a lot of money at the time, he would take us to a place like Whataburger or McDonald's or Burger King, places like that. And we would split the food and we would share the food. So he would eat the fries. He would upgrade to like an extra large fry or something, split the burger in half for me and my brother. And then, we would just get a few of the fries, but that was mostly what he was having for dinner. We would get the large Sprite or something, and we would all share that. So I was taken back to a time in my life where me, my dad, and my brother would sit in the car and we would eat our dinner. We would eat our lunch where we were literally breaking bread and sharing food. I was taken back to that point. I was also shown in my dream a space in my life where my mother was present and she was just on my neck, right? I've told some of y'all this before. I grew up with a mother who was very demanding and very demonstrative, very Leo, right? Very Leo in her strength, where her love had turned to control. And then the very last part of this one long dream, where I saw these three different distinct visions, right? I saw one of my old basketball coaches, and this basketball coach was the guy that all the girls on the team had a crush on, right? Have y'all ever had that experience where there's this coach or this teacher at the school who everybody has a crush on, and you don't have a crush on him because he's some nasty little old man that is flirting with you, but you had a crush on him because he was so disciplined, he was so strong, he was like that strong masculine male figure in your life. I had a vision of my old basketball coach who I hadn't seen in years. The point that I'm making to you all is that our the collective consciousness, right? The divine used me last night as a vessel to see that for many of us, our past is going to be showing up, right? Different segments from our past. And as I observed these 3 key moments in my life, my spirit team asked me, what would you do if you could change it? Would you or would you not? And that's what I want to talk to y'all about today. Okay. What spirit was telling me is that basically our Akashic records is wide open right now. And I'm sure I could go and do some research and I could look at some astrological movements. I'm sure I can look at some planetary movements, but I also think simply because it was the spring equinox, the records are open because we get to pick and choose out of the records. What are we going to use in this new year, right? In this new rebirth, renewal energy that we are supposed to be tapping into. And so the Akashic records are open right now. I want to tell y'all that first and foremost. So when you're sleeping, when you're dreaming, be open, because be receptive, because you may be seeing something that has to do with your future, something that has to do with your past. But specifically right now, for a lot of you, you're going to be seeing, you're going to be seeing moments from your past. Okay. And what Spirit was telling me was that in our rebirth and renewal that is happening right now, we are being asked to let go of our past so that, and I'm going to tell you what I mean, because it's different. It's not in the sense of what we've always heard before. Oh, you got to let go, or you got to get over it. You got to move on. Spirit is not really communicating the message in that generic kind of way. What I'm receiving from Spirit when it comes down to our past is the essence of letting our past create new fruit. Okay. Some of you have heard of Joe Dispenza, right? Love his work. If you're in the book club, you know we read his book a while back. But something that he speaks so adamantly about is when you are not conscious of yourself in the present, you will continue to live in this moment. You keep on living your past. What he means by that is every day you're living the same day over and over and over again, meaning you're not having new thoughts, new feelings, new experiences, new actions. You keep thinking the same, feeling the same, acting the same, engaging with people in the same exact way, meaning you keep reliving the past. And what that means is that the past, your past experiences, is not creating new fruit. Okay. And so this is all what I'm seeing in the dream. And I'm telling y'all this because this is something that is so important for all of us to really integrate at this time in our lives. Like right now, it is essential that we understand how we are to use our past. Okay. How we are to use our past. And what Spirit was saying specifically is we have to let our past create new fruit instead of allowing our past to create the same spoiled, unappetizing, rotten fruit. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? So many of us have had past experiences that were traumatic, right? That caused us to feel, act, behave, and show up a certain way. And for however long you've been dwelling in that trauma, it has been creating the fruit of abandonment wound, the fruit of rejection, the fruit of fear, the fruit of not living in your power and in your purpose. That's the fruit that the trauma has created. That's the fruit that the past has created. Being a shell of yourself, or being a shell of ourselves, because I've been there. And I'm still always working on myself. But a lot of times our past experiences force us to become a version of ourselves that is not in alignment with who God, the divine, our higher self, has actually called us to be. But Spirit was telling me last night that we are in a space right now where our past can be used to create delicious, juicy, abundant fruit. If we will allow it, okay? If we will allow it. So let's keep going. All right. What Spirit said to me that was so good was that we don't need to change our past. we need to put a cap on it. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? What does that mean? We don't need to change our past. We need to put a cap on it. And as I laid in the bed, I saw a time capsule. And so what Spirit was showing me as I was kind of making sense of it and decoding these dreams and asking Spirit, why did I see 3 very different, distinct moments of my past? Spirit was telling me a lot of times we try to change our past, but when we try to change our past, we reduce the power, the healing, the transformation, and the heightened level of consciousness that our past has gifted us with. See, our past experiences provide us with divine insight, purpose, guidance, understanding of how we desire to show up. That's what our past does for us. Our past gives us a clear vision and understanding of what we don't want and what we do want. Our past tells us, okay, in the past, I didn't have boundaries. I was afraid of rejection. I felt unloved, unwanted by my mother, by my father. And in the present, now I'm going to set those boundaries. I'm going to have a sacred divine relationship with my children and my partner. So when we say, I want to change the past, when we say we want to time travel, I'm telling y'all, literally the timekeepers, just like we see in the show Loki, the timekeepers were literally present with me in the dream as I was reflecting on why am I seeing this, and this. Oh, Spirit showed me those 3 specific images in my dream. My daddy being cheap, right? My mother being demanding, controlling. My basketball coach looking like he was the knight in shining armor, but later finding out that he was abusive to his own child, to his own daughter. Not sexually abusive, but he was mentally, physically, emotionally abusive, right? Because she was a lesbian. Right? She was a lesbian. She experienced some sexual trauma when she was a kid. And so this led her to deciding that she wanted to date women. And he was like a devout Christian, like one of those scary Christians. You know what I mean? Like think about some of those crazy ass movies where literally they're in the closet praying, literally think about on BMF. No, that's not BMF. Think about on Raising Canaan. Oh my God, think about y'all seen on Raising Canaan when Juke was trying to build a relationship with her mama, but her mama was just this devout Christian and went to that crazy ass church, right? I think this happened on season 2. Do y'all remember that? And Juke's mama brought her to the house and they made her watch like a porn of like a husband and a wife, and then they made her watch 2 women being sexually active, and they like held her down in the chair. They held her down in the chair and started like beating her hands, right? Beating her hands, trying to beat the lesbian out of her. Well, my old basketball coach was like that with his daughter. And when he was coaching me, I never knew that. It wasn't until we graduated and we came together as a basketball team, all the girls, right? We already grown pretty much. So we're not inviting our coaches to come sit down and talk. We're like, okay, all of the girlfriends, let's talk about what it was like when we were actually growing up. Now that we're grown, let's talk about what our real life was when we were teenagers, surviving, playing on this basketball team, right? Spending summers together. And my basketball teammate, she told us, which was so crazy, y'all, because she was like, she was telling, come on, Spirit, thank you. She was telling us that she was having digestion issues, that she was struggling to process her food, because we're out at a restaurant, and instead of her eating like the rest of us, we tearing the food up. She cutting the food very small. She, at making a whole bunch of special requests for the meals. She's like, yeah, please keep the salt low, or I can't have this, or I can't have that. Like she had to be very specific about how she ate. And we were like, and me, because I was already kind of on this spiritual path and understanding things. I asked her, I was like, what's going on with you? Like, why can't you just eat your food? Why does it have to be broken up? Why does it have to be this? She was like, yeah, for some reason I can't keep my food down. And it's been like this for a while. I went to the doctor. The doctors don't see anything wrong. They don't know what's going on. And she brought it up. She said, I think it's from my childhood trauma. And so, of course, we started talking about that. And that opened up a whole can of worms of her saying, like, yeah, my dad was looking like a knight in shining armor to all of y'all on the basketball team. But for me at home, it was hell, because of her sexuality. He was abusing her and holding her eyes to watch like church stuff. Do we understand? So my spirit team and these timekeepers in the dream, they showed me all of this. And what spirit said to me is that we don't need to change our past. What we do need to do is put a cap on it. And that's why I saw a time capsule, which we've also seen this in movies. Y'all let me know if y'all seen this in movies like I've seen this in movies, where especially in movies, I don't know if they did this in Back to the Future, but we know in Back to the Future, they do a lot of time traveling. But there are some movies where, let's say a classroom, right? A classroom at a school, they get all of these different things that they love and that they care about. They put it in a time capsule, they bury it into the ground, and then 20 years later, they come back and open up the time capsule. And they look at what's in it. They see if they predicted the future. They see all of those things. And it's a beautiful thing. But what Spirit was telling me to share with you all is that the reason why we want to put a cap on our past is because we still need to take away the lessons, the blessings, the opportunities, the growth, the purpose, right? The triumph that came from our past. When we want to change our past, it's like the butterfly effect. Every change you make to your past, it changes a part of your present. And I know some of you may be thinking, well, hell, my present reality, I don't like it. So if changing my past is going to change my present, then so be it. But what you have to know is that we made agreements prior to having those experiences that our past would teach us a certain lesson on the spiritual soul level. That's the agreement that we made. And so when we honor that agreement and we honor the experience of our past, we take away the lesson, the blessing, the divine insight that we were meant to gain from it. When we change it, we change the impact that it was supposed to have on our lives, the purpose it was supposed to activate, the soul level transformation that those past experiences were supposed to gift us with. So Spirit said we got to put a cap on it, meaning we got to contain, we got to contain the effects of our past. Okay? So what does that mean? For many of us, our past spills over into our present moment. Meaning, I give you an example. My childhood past experiences of abandonment spilled over into my adult marriage relationship. Okay? So at one point in time in my relationship, I wasn't present. Who I know I was divinely created to be in love, in life, in mothering, in partnership, in companionship. Who I was designed and created to be, I was not able to be that because my past was spilling over into my present, not allowing me to fully submerge myself in sacred love and sacred connection. But when I put a cap on my past, rather than, because here's the thing. A lot of times on the spiritual path, I want y'all to understand this. Time travel is real. It's absolutely real. We can visit our past. We can do things differently. But what Spirit was telling me in the dream was that our past is truly a gift for our present. Okay? And so we don't want to change it. I'll tell you what we want to change. We want to change our perspective of it. That's what we want to do. We want to change our perspective of it. When we change our I got all of these notes on my phone, but I'm really just running it down to y'all. I don't really want to. I'm really just running it down to y'all. And listen, no, I got a whole look at all of this, y'all. I woke up at what time? I woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and got all of these notes from my dream. I'm going to tell y'all a visualization to do at the end, but I just want to make sure that I get the understanding across to y'all first and foremost. Okay, first and foremost, I want y'all to understand that sometimes being hyper focused on changing your past changes the level of power, the spiritual, the spiritual aptitude, the spiritual gifts that you were meant to have. When you're going back and you're time traveling, you're like Loki, right? You're like Loki and you 1992, 1980, 1975, whatever. You going back and changing those records changes a part of your spiritual power and your gifting and your purpose. Okay? Your past and the pain that accompanies it is what gives you an understanding of what it is you're meant to do. And so Spirit, right, God, the divine, the collective consciousness, that divine energy that dwells in all of us is really wanting us to make peace with our past so that we can be in power within our present. Make peace with it. Don't change it. Okay? I'm going to tell y'all how to make peace with it. I'm going to tell y'all the meditation, the visualization that Spirit gave me. Okay? We don't need to change the past. We must change how we feel about it, therefore changing the fruit that it bears. We do not need to change our past. We need to change how we feel about it. Our emotions, our feelings is how we water the seeds. Our past is a seed. Our past is a seed that can either create beautiful, abundant fruit of purpose, of gifts, of talent, of power, of understanding, or it can bear fruit of abandonment, rejection, trigger, anger, frustration, based off of how we see it, based off of what we water it with. Okay? Based off what we water it with. And so, first of all, I want to say thank all of y'all for being here. I just really want to get this out to y'all because me having this aha moment on the night of the spring equinox, we don't take that for granted. We take that as what it is, a sign, a symbol from the divine that you can sit with, resonate with, see how it is connecting with you and do as you wish with it. Okay, I'm telling you what I'm doing with it. Why it's so important. It's so important because in the spring season, this is a time where we really start to see where things start showing up, the flowers are blooming, we start to see the best of ourselves. We start to get glimpses of who and what we were called to be. Okay? The spring season is called the grounding season. Okay? Grounding is when we are sowing. We're pouring into ourselves. We're nourishing ourselves. We're watering ourselves. We're giving ourselves that sunlight, that glow, that radiance. That's what this season is about. But if we only see our past experiences as detrimental, as toxic, or as taking away something from us, if we only see it as that, then that's what we are watering. That's what we are creating. Okay? So Spirit gave me this understanding. First of all, we have to learn to ground the past so that it may be transmuted by the earth. What that means is that for a lot of us, our past continues to be heavy in our minds. Our past stays on repeat in our mind. It stays on repeat in our emotions. It stays on repeat in our actions. So it's not grounded. Okay, it's not grounded. It's very astrally, right? Very energetic. When your past is not grounded, that means you haven't learned the lesson. Because what grounding actually is, it's bringing things from the spiritual plane, deciphering it, and when it gets grounded, this means that you understand the logic, the reasoning, and you can apply it. So when our past is not grounded, what we are essentially saying is that we don't know what it came to teach us or how it actually serves us. And so as we are in the spring season, which is all about grounding, Spirit is like, let's ground out the past. Ground it out so that it is no longer continuously recreating our present. So that our past is no longer dictating how we are showing up today. Let me go ahead and put this in here right now. This weekend, March 23rd at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, I am going to be teaching a full class called From Healing to Wholeness. I'm about to drop the link in the chat right now. I'm teaching a full class called From Healing to Wholeness, specifically for the ladies. Brothers, I may drop it in Patreon because this class is valuable for men as well. 100% is valuable for the brothers as well. Okay. But I focus my attention on women, right? So ladies, I just dropped the link. Go ahead and make sure you sign up so that you can receive the Zoom link so that you can join that class live. You need to be there. Because what I'm going to be talking about in that class is how do we go from being in the state of always feeling like we need to fix something about ourselves? How do we get off the hamster wheel of healing and we show up in our personal power, in our passion, in our purpose, in who and what we were called to be? How do we do that? In the class on Saturday, I'm going to show y'all my movement from phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. I'm going to show you D-Ray unconscious doing her thing, right? Doing her thing in her wombs. I'm going to show you D-Ray. I wasn't even D-Ray at that time. Well, I was, because I've been called D-Ray for forever. But I'm going to show you that part of me that was coming into consciousness, looking like, okay, I got to heal. I got to change. I got to transform. Something ain't right. And then to the person that you see today who understands her power and who is able to take a dream, okay, who is able to take a dream and convey the message the way that I'm sharing it with y'all right now. Okay. So if you have not signed up for that, the link is at the top. Just pinned it. Go ahead and do that. It'll be good for all of you. Men, if you're on Patreon, you're going to get to listen to the class later, right? Later. Ladies, you're going to listen to it present moment with me, right on time, all of that good stuff. All right. Keeping on with the keeping on. All right. I don't know. Where was I just at, y'all, before I told y'all about that? Grounding out the past. Yes. I think we were talking about grounding the past. Yes, I think we were talking about grounding the past. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if we were talking about grounding the past. Give me a thumbs up if you are picking up what I'm putting down. And if you have any questions about navigating your past, Go ahead and drop that in the chat as well. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to give y'all a beautiful visualization. And I love what Dante just said. Dante just said, yeah, I be feeling like shit heals slowly. It's never ending. And that's a fact. It is never ending. And that's why Spirit has taken me on this journey to share with y'all right now. Because at the end of the day, healing is never going to end. Healing essentially is just transformation. It's changing. It's change. It's growth. It's evolution. Those are the essence. That's the essence of healing. And for as long as we are in these physical forms, having these physical experiences, we're always going to be doing that. The difference is, are we seeing ourselves as something or someone that is broken, inadequate, needing to be fixed, needing to be changed, right? See, there's a difference in perspective. See, at first I was on my healing journey because I'm like, I'm showing up terrible in my relationship. I need to heal these abandonment wounds. Something's wrong with me, right? A lot of times we start our healing journey feeling like something is wrong with us, like we are not perfectly imperfect in the present. And that's the shift that I'm talking about for the healing to wholeness journey. Spirit is asking us to look at healing as the never-ending process that it is, and not as something that we have to be hyper focused on. Because what Spirit told me is that every single, and I'm the healing coach. And I'm telling you this as a person who received the divine download that a part of my purpose is to be the healing coach, to motivate, to encourage, to uplift people on their healing journey. But a layer to the healing that Spirit revealed to me is that if we're always looking for something to heal about ourselves, we're always going to find something to heal about ourselves, which makes us feel overwhelmed, which makes us feel inadequate, which makes us feel like we are unable to show up in our power and purpose right now. And so what Spirit is telling me is let healing come to you. See, a lot of times on the spiritual path, we see shadow work, inner child work, chakra work. We see all of these things, which are real and need to be worked on and need to be resolved. But your spirit team, your higher self, will reveal to you in divine timing when it is your moment to do that healing work. Rather than looking at a video somebody did and saying, oh, okay, I'm gonna do inner child healing work now. And now you just opened up a portal into your inner child, which is good work. I'm not saying that it's not. But if you just finished womb healing, now you in inner child work, now you in shadow work, you put too much pressure on yourself. This has been my experience. And so I've moved into a space of allowing the divine to reveal to me through my dreams, through synchronicities, through alignments, through resonance, through intuitive guidance, to tell me what I need to work on, when I need to work on it. I trust that the message is going to come through, that I'm going to get it. That Spirit is going to say, okay, boom, this is what you need to be doing right now. Instead of peeling myself apart and being like, well, this happened in my past. Let me heal that. My mama did this in my past. Let me do with that. My daddy did this. Now let me deal with that. Sometimes we're opening up portals that are not, and this goes back to the Akashic records, like I just said, sometimes we're entering certain records in a time and space where that portal was not meant to be opened just yet. All right? So that's that. Here's what the earth does, though. Here's what the earth does. The earth takes compost. Shout out to all my gardeners out there. Shout out to all of y'all who are working with the earth in this spring season. You know, something I've been doing, a ritual that y'all should do just because, right? Just because It don't take no energy, no effort, just intention. If you have some spoiled fruit, and I do this every time, if I get some strawberries and I don't eat them fast enough and they all nasty, don't throw them in the trash. Go give them to the earth, please. You got some cucumbers, zucchini, whatever, that's done got soft and mushy. It ain't right no more. Go give it to the earth. Go give it to mama. So what I do, I just did this a few weeks ago. I had some spoiled strawberries. I took them and I so carefully, I just put them in a circle around both of our trees because I had a lot. I had like a whole container. And I put them in a circle around our tree. And I just said some words like, I'm giving this back. You know, I don't want to be wasteful. And guess what, y'all? In a matter of hours, them strawberries is gone. Okay? I don't know if Alvin the Chipmunk got them. Okay? I don't know who got them. I don't know what fairy kingdom. I don't know who did what with the strawberries and the blueberries that were spoiled, but they're gone. The ants probably ate them up. Okay. The caterpillar done came and nibbled on it. Okay. But this is just us giving back to the earth. So if you got spoiled fruit, don't throw them away. And you really want to take that seriously in this spring season, because I'm about to tell you something that is essential for your power and your purpose. So what the earth does, some of you have heard of composting, meaning you take old food, banana peels, spoiled food, orange peels, old food remainings or remnants that are no longer, you're not using them no more. Instead of throwing them away, what a lot of people do is they turn it into compost, okay? They take this compost and they mix it in with their soil. This compost is a fertilizer. I hope y'all are following where I'm going. Meaning the past, the old food, the old banana peel, the old orange peel, right? The past, what you think you no longer have use for, is a fertilizer for the earth. Oh my God. I wish y'all could feel I know y'all feel this, what it feels like for God, the divine, to channel through you, give you a message that is so freaking powerful. And that's why the Healing the Wholeness class is so important, because so many people don't know what it feels like to be connected to God, the divine, in such a powerful way where you know that this is beyond you. Like Desiree D. Ray Wise, I'm very smart. I'm very intelligent. Your girl has a brain. I'm a great learner. But I wasn't thinking about no damn compost. I literally was laying in the bed and I saw, Spirit showed me the compost being put into the earth. And I said, okay. And then Spirit said, if we would give our past, our old, the thing that we feel like no longer serves us, if we would give it back to the earth as wisdom, as insight, as understanding, if we would give it back, it will be the fertilizer for our new reality. So that's why I brought up the time capsule and putting a cap on it, rather than going back and changing it and saying, I would do this differently. Yeah, that all sounds good and well, but there's so much to be gained out of that experience. And so Spirit just showed me us in this time taking our past experiences, those past heartbreaks, heartaches, whatever it is, and sowing it into the earth as divine information and insight. Because whether you understand this or not, your trials and tribulations, your trauma serves a purpose. It's powerful. I would not be the speaker that I am today and the speaker that I see myself becoming. I would not be that if I did not experience the trauma I experienced. The things I saw in those dreams, my father not being able to really feed us, penny pinching, abandoning, my mother being controlling, demanding. You know what Spirit showed me last night in that dream? In the dream, like my mother was upset. And my mother gave me a lot of freedom when I was growing up. Freedom, she controlled like what I did. And I think that she felt like she had given me the tools to be okay out in the world as a kid. But what she did not know is that I experienced some sexual abuse at some of these friends' houses that she trusted. My first introduction to them adult films, okay? The BBCs and the Ebonies and all of that. My first introduction to that was at a church friend house. See, my mama didn't keep that stuff in our house. You're not coming to my house and find. My mama didn't. Nah, she wasn't that type of woman. But my church friend, my church sis, my mama trusted her. My mama trusted me. She sent me over to my church friend house, who now when I look at this specific friend who introduced me to that, I can see how she hasn't been able to do the alchemy. I can see by how she looks, her face reads, her energy just reads that she is just in this intense battle. Anyways, my mom was mad in the dream. And I think a part of her anger in the dream was because she thought that she really protected me. She thought that I was safe at the church friend's house, whose mama had in the closet, shoe boxes full of adult films, all across the wall. I mean, you could just open up a shoebox, man, one time. Opened up the shoebox. Big, pale, artificial phallus. Big, pale, artificial phallus. I mean, my friend was like, look at what my mama got. Movies stacked on top of movies. But my mom she didn't know. She thought I gave Desiree the tools that she needs to protect herself to be safe. But she didn't know that I was also vulnerable. Ooh, let me tell you. Ooh. Because my mother was very controlling, okay? Because my mother was very controlling for a long time, I second guessed my own discernment and intuition. So instead of listening to what my spirit was telling me, I was hearing my mother's voice. And I was scared of my mother's voice. And I wanted to rebel against my mother's voice. Do you understand? My mother's voice, I wanted to reject because my mother had been controlling me so much. So I'm in this compromising environment where I know better, where I know as a child who was unaware, immature, where I know I should not be engaging and indulging in this stuff where you're seeing women who are not being treated right, sexually speaking. I knew that I shouldn't, but because I wanted to rebel against my mother unconsciously, I did not listen to my intuition. But that past experience has allowed me to be so powerful, intuitive, and have a certain level of discernment right now. So I wouldn't change it. Okay. So what the earth does with the compost, it takes it into its soil, it brings it in, and it uses it as fuel to create new fruit, to create new vegetables, to create new vitality, to create a new you. And that's what our spirit team, that's what the collective consciousness is coming through with right now. It's saying, give your past to the earth. Say, you know what? Mother Earth, Daughter Earth, whatever of them names you resonate with, have it. Take this from me. This energy, this burden, this trial that I no longer want to continue spilling over into my life, take it from me. Use it as compost, use it as wisdom. Because what we have to understand is that just as we are learning, so is the earth. As above, so below, as within, so without. The earth changes. This is why we talk about the new earth. The earth changes and evolves based off of our level of consciousness. So when we visualize ourselves, here's the visualization, catch it. Let me explicitly say this to you. This is the visualization that was shown to me. Catch it. There's two ways that we can do this. The first way is the way that I saw it in my half sleep, half up channeled state. The first way is to visualize yourself standing on the earth. Visualize yourself standing on the earth. And what you want to do is you want to feel from the soles of your feet, the soul. Okay, there's alignment there for a reason. You want to visualize the soles of your feet being connected to earth, and you want to see the chakras of your feet opening up. There's chakras on the soles of our feet. Okay? All of our chakras essentially connect to the bottom of our feet. That's a whole nother download. Go watch Dream, and I got a whole class on that. Walking the Path is that class. You can get that on Dream's website. Walking the Path, talking about the foot chakras. But the soles of our feet really withhold our life information. Our soul information is kept in the soles of our feet. This is why in Feng Shui they say never sleep with your feet directly in front of a door, because the bottom of your feet holds a lot of your life force energy. And if you have the soles of your feet facing a door, whether it's your closet door, bedroom door, bathroom door, that door is pulling energy from your soul. It's pulling life force energy. Visualize the soles of your feet on the earth. And you want to do this visualization in first person. So you're not seeing yourself standing on the earth. You are seeing your feet on the earth. You're looking down at your feet. And what I want you to do is tell your body, tell your mind, tell your feet to open up and surrender all of those past things that you have not been able to transmute and heal on your own. Release it into the earth. And you can say something like, I give my past to the earth as wisdom, as insight and understanding, that it may bear new fruit in my reality now. And you just visualize that. And as you tune into your body, if you feel any sensations in your body, you may have a past experience that is connected to that part of your body. So if you feel something in your back, that may be a past experience that you stored in your back that needs to be released. So what you would do is you would intentionally connect a cord to that spot of your body, specifically the back in this example, and visualize that cord going from your back to the earth. And for however long you need to, just see all of that stuff coming out and going into the earth. You've already set the intention that this information, these past experiences, these past energies that you've held on to, you've already set the intention that they are now going to become compost, fuel, energy for the new reality you are birthing and springing forward. That's one way to do it. Easy, beautiful visualization. I did it this morning for an hour, literally for 1 hour. In that visualization, to accompany it, go on YouTube, type in earth sounds, right? And it was so funny because this morning when I was doing it, I was hearing the birds chirping on the phone, on the YouTube meditation sounds. But then again, I was also hearing the birds outside. So I was getting two different sounds of earth. Do whatever works for you. That's one way to do it. The second way to do it, which is going to be super powerful, and I would recommend doing both of them. Do both of them as often as you can until you start to see your past making way for your purpose, until you start to see your trials turning into your triumph, until you start to see the very thing that was a liability for you, until you start to see it as an asset. Okay? My abandonment wound at one point was a liability. It was blocking me from having healthy relationships. I did my healing work. It became an asset because now I can talk about the abandonment wounds, the abandonment trials and tribulations I've been through and help other women to overcome it. We understand. The second way to do this is to go outside, bare feet, put your feet in the earth. Put your feet on the ground. As I was receiving this download about doing it this way, Spirit specifically said, do it next to a tree. So you want to have your hand on the tree, have your feet on the earth, bare feet on the earth, in the grass or the sand. Well, if you buy sand, you're probably not by a tree. But wherever you can be in nature, connected to the earth, you can do it that way and say out of your mouth again, I offer up these past energies that are no longer serving me as wisdom, insight, understanding to fuel my new reality, to fuel my new earth. Okay? That's how you do that. So you can do it both of those ways. Do it in the physical, but also do it in the mental. Matter of fact, if you join the 12-week visualization voyage with Dream and I'm going to pick one of these weeks and I'm going to walk y'all through this specific visualization. Baby, remember that. Okay? Remember that I said that because we need to do that because it came through like that. All right? Last thing that I will share with you is you can make your own time capsule. You can make your own time capsule, not for the energy of, oh, I'm going to open this in 5 years and see what has happened. You can do that if you want to. Or you can seal it up, put it into the ground, and forget about it. Okay? So what that may look like is writing some things in your past that you want to let go of, that you want the earth to transform and transmute. Write them down, put them in a bottle, put them in something, or don't put them in anything, or put it in a Ziploc bag. Do whatever. Not a Ziploc bag because that's plastic. Don't do that. Okay? Maybe just take the paper itself. Take the paper itself, dig a little hole wherever you live, wherever you are at, whatever you are near. Dig a little hole into the earth, put that paper in it, cover it up. Say that same affirmation. Okay? So those are 3 different things that y'all can do at this time to tap in with this energy. I just wanted to share that with y'all. And I just really want to stress the fact that your past can be transmuted to become the fertile ground from which you can become your best self, from which you can bloom and blossom into who and what you are meant to be. All right? That's my quick message for y'all. It wasn't quick at all. I wanted to be faster, but all good. I hope that y'all were able to receive this message. If y'all have any questions, you can let me know. If not, I'm hopping off of here. Okay. All right. Well, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's night. Peace and love, family. Let me know in the comments how this resonates with y'all. And then for all the ladies, I will see y'all on Saturday for the Healing to Wholeness workshop. All right. I'll see y'all there. Peace and love.